off, just curious, where were you when you found out you guys were headed to the college football playoff?
Sitting on the couch with my kids, and everybody was obviously real anxious and wanted to see it happen, and so that was a pretty big celebration. So they were excited for the opportunity. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
What does it mean to you to, not just for yourself, but for the team, to be able to continue this season, to have another chance to be able to potentially vie for a national championship?
Yeah, I think we're going to take it one game at a time. I mean, first off, we've got a really good opponent, ton of respect for that. Has a long storied tradition. So, opportunity for us to play another game, and opportunity for us to go out and prove who we are and try to put our best foot forward. So excited for our guys. I think they definitely had earned the right to have that opportunity, and just excited to go play, and obviously a great team we got to play against, and prepare our guys to go up there and give our best showing.
What went into the decision to decide to extend and stay here longer, and what was it about this program that makes you want to be around for the future?
Well, I think first off, I mean, when you're happy somewhere and you love who you work with, who you work for, top down organization, like the grass isn't always greener, and obviously this is home for me, and so it was a big challenge when we took this opportunity to be able to come back home and build something special, and you want your word to mean something. I think we're in a day and age that a lot of young men maybe don't understand how a lot of us were raised, or our parents were raised, where you want to be able to remain loyal and true, and when we're out on the recruiting trail and telling kids that, like, I want to be here, we're building something special here, like, you want that to matter to our players in this program, and the guys that we're trying to get to come join us. So just blessed and fortunate to be here, and excited about the future here.
What do you see from Penn State's offense on tape, and what particular problems does Tyler Warren present for you guys?
Yeah, a lot. There's a reason why he's the number one tight end in the country. I mean, his ability to run the ball, his ability to throw the ball, his ability to block, his ability to catch. It's really, really impressive watching him on film, and he's just a Swiss Army knife in their offense and how they utilize him, and really creative on offense. They have done a tremendous job, just the way they're so multiple and stress you in so many different ways, from the shift in motion and formation personnel group, and so they do a great job. He's obviously an elite player that's going to play this game for a long time, and will be a big time challenge for us to match up against him.
Did you go to SMU games as a kid?
No, I didn't. I mean, this was, as a kid, this was not a place that you would really pick. North Texas was better when I was a kid than SMU was, let alone the other school. But no, it was just, I've had friends that have played here, guys that I've known that have gone to school here, and so excuse me. It's just, it's been really cool to be a part of this, and I was telling one of our boosters that texted me the other night, it really does feel like home for us, like I went to school here, just by how the people have taken us in, embraced us, my family, and I think just this staff in general. So.
And how have you seen, just in your time, either living here or being familiar with the program, the city of Dallas and DFW kind of rally around SMU? Like, how different is it now from when it was years ago, or even when you first started?
No, I think we just changed it in the last 2 months, really. When you look at it, even last year, the success that we had, the record at home that we had, we still didn't have the turnout for home games like we wanted to, and I think that's, first off, you have to credit our student body, which has done a tremendous job. We're not the biggest school, but man, they're loud, and they create a great atmosphere for college athletics at this place, and so I think it starts with them, but then everybody within the administration, not just the football side of things, but the marketing side of things that have, worked to promote and make this, a unique game day atmosphere. And obviously when you got, a fun team to watch that's right here in Dallas, I think people have finally just realized, hey, this is worth my time to come watch this football team. And so it's definitely an exciting time.
How do you go about balancing preparing for this next game and also transfer portal opening? What's kind of the balance been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. Luckily, there's a week, that we have this week as we're prepping, but trying to do both. I think next week it gets even harder because you're trying to do two things at once, and I think it's something that definitely needs to be changed. It's not fair to put it during this season for it's like making the playoffs in the NFL but having free agency at the same time. I mean, it really makes no sense. But we manage it the best we can. We have a professional staff, and obviously trying to address needs, but first and foremost, making sure that our kids are prepared and ready for Penn State. So, and it happens so quick at this time. You just got to be really informed on the kids you're recruiting so you can make good judgment decisions. I think there's been, we've had a lot of success with the transfers that we've brought in that have done really well within our program. I think we've done a good job, doing our homework and due diligence on guys. But I think you've seen programs, even programs in this conference potentially, that have brought in a bunch of transfers and maybe they weren't the right fit culturally. So we gotta be smart and make sure that we don't, do anything hasty too. Let's get the right guys here that want to be here for the right reasons. I mean, this is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. This is a great academic degree. This is, there's a lot of reasons you come to SMU outside of the fact that, we're a top 12 program in the country right now. So, finding the guys that appreciate that, yes, we want great football players, but we want great fits and young men that want to be developed, in every aspect of their life.
For the most part this season, you guys have played 3 games and then a bye week. Well, you just played 4 games in a row. So how important has this bye week been to sort of reset physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think it's been good for the guys. Obviously, coming off a tough game that really felt like we should have won in a lot of ways. I think fans feel the same way when you watched it. Whether it was some bounces that didn't go our way, obviously we put ourselves in a hole early in the game. Some controversial calls or no calls, but there were a lot of things that affected it. But what I was really proud of was how our guys fought and bounced back. Not many teams would be down in a game like that and come back to tie it. Now, it was bittersweet in the end, and there were 4 or 5 calls that I really wished I had back in the game, and that's how most games are. But in tight games, you got to be really on point, and we just left 1 or 2 too many on the field on some of those situations, and then some short fields. But I think, obviously, initial reaction coming off that, our kids are really hurt because I felt like it was a really good Clemson team, but I really felt like if we play that game 10 times, we win 9. I really did, going into it and even after it. But that being said, I think the fact that they've got new life and it's an opportunity, but I also want to make sure we understand that it's a huge challenge, and we're not just happy to be in. We're not that's not the goal. The goal is to focus on winning 1 game at a time, and the first game is a really formidable opponent, and we got to go there and, like I said, put our best foot in front of us. But I think, healthy, getting some rest, recuperating, obviously a little bit extra prep time for the guys, as we go into this thing is huge.
Kind of in that vein, what does physicality look like this week and next week as you're both trying to prepare properly for that game, give guys rest, but also maybe even the concept that there could be more games in the future that maybe more longest seasons than these guys have played?
Well, our practice schedule won't change how we practiced all season. When we get to Monday of next week, obviously we had a shells day, we've had a couple non-padded days. We'll have I believe a shells day tomorrow. So we're going to get out there, and the fundamentals of football can't change. I think we learned that last year when we went into our Boston College Bowl game, and I thought we as a coaching staff on defense in particular, starting with me, didn't do a good job of tackling and fundamentals and some of those things leading up to a bowl game, because hindsight's 2020. We were trying to make it as fun as we could for the guys because we should have been playing Oregon last year, and instead we were playing Boston College. And credit to the CFP for getting it right this year. But we really weren't prepared in that game, and it showed. So I think the base fundamentals and the base tackle circuits and block destruction and those things, especially against offense like this, we're going to have to tackle really good players. We're going to have to tackle them in phone booth, and we're going to have to tackle them in space. And so that aspect won't change once we hit our normal Monday routine. We'll be rolling.
When you look at Drew Aller on tape, what kind of stands out, and is he similar at all to any quarterback you guys have faced this season?
Similar. Not that we faced. I would say the Mendoza kid, but Mendoza probably threw a little bit more quick game than Drew does. He's really poised, extremely accurate with the football, runs a lot better than you think. Like, you look at it initially, and then you start to see him get loose, running, whether it's scrambling, some Q runs in there. So, he's I would say the, most complete pro-style quarterback that we've seen, though, for sure. So there's a reason why the hype is out there, and the accolades and the talk and the success that he's had, because he's a really good football player, really good quarterback.
How do you prepare for the atmosphere, the whiteout game, the size of their stadium?
Yeah.
Kind of new for you?
I think the positive is our guys, have been in a lot of environments. We're not going to have been in that environment for most of them, but we've got guys that have transferred from, and played in big time ACC or SEC games. So, you look across the board, Deuce played at A&M, so he's played in, big environments. You look at, our whole D-line played at Miami. So, you start there, and then, you look at the experience of guys that we've got, the Isaiahs, the Jonathans, the Ahmads, the Colbys, that you expect aren't going to let the moment be too big. And, I think the biggest thing is just, it's still football. It's one play at a time. It's focus. It's communication. I think on our side of the ball, it will probably be a little bit easier because it won't be quite as loud as when the offense has the ball, right? So, but just, don't let the moment be too big. Kind of try to act medium at the moment, never too high, never too low. Things are going to happen, good plays, bad plays, great, celebrate, boom, something happens, move on to the next play. And that's the mentality we've had all year, and that's the mentality we'll have as a defense going into this.
Anything else?
Good.